So I often get this question. How do you do it? How do you manage a website, run a busy house, take care of 6 children without going crazy? That's a really good question. And as I was thinking about how I would answer it, I think it comes down to 5 things. The first one is help. I get a lot of help, especially from my husband, who's a wonderful, loving, patient, involved dad. He's also really good at doing a lot of driving for things like taking our daughter to violin lesson or basketball practice, birthday parties. He's also really wonderful at technology, so if I run into a snag here and there, he's always there to help. So number one, my husband is a wonderful partner and leader in our home. The other thing that's good is that my kids can help. So my 11-year-old every morning, she has to empty the dishwasher. My 10-year-old son every morning, he has to start a load of laundry or move it into the dryer wherever we're at. And the other kids help too. So having a family that understands that we all pitch in is number one. The second word that comes to mind is sacrifice. And by that, I just mean that I give up some things so I can do other things. So for example, before I started blogging, I did a lot of recreational reading. I read a lot of novels in the evening on the couch. Well, now I don't do that because I work in the evening, but I save those novels for vacation. Before I started blogging, I watched television, and now I don't watch any television at all, except for maybe part of a documentary in the evenings with my husband. Before I started blogging, I did a lot more work in the kitchen. So I did a lot of canning, and actually up until a year ago, I made yogurt 2 or 3 times a week because we eat a lot of it. And now I realize that there are things I don't have to do anymore. I only can spaghetti sauce every couple of years. I don't make yogurt anymore. The one thing I still do is make 6 loaves of bread once a week because we eat a lot of bread, and I like doing it, and it's easy. But there are other things that I just can't do anymore, and that's okay. Now, in the past, I've also given up things that I shouldn't have given up so I could get things running. So I have to say, in the first few years of my blog, I basically gave up self-care, which wasn't a good thing. I gave up my morning exercise routine. I stopped doing things for myself. I was very tired and frazzled much of the time, didn't give enough attention to my kids. There were big piles of laundry, and then also we ate way too much frozen pizza. Now, the blog now, as of this recording, is 5.5 years old, and now it's got a good enough foundation that I don't have to spend as much time as I used to. The third word I think of is routines, and those are just routines that my husband and I have established in our home to make it possible for me to have times to work. So, for example, over the years, I've worked early in the morning, in the afternoon, and then in the evening after the kids are in bed. But to make that work, we had to have some things in place. Ever since they were young, toddlers, the kids are not allowed out of their rooms until 6:40 in the morning. So even if they're sitting there awake at 5:30, we don't go get them. And then in the afternoon, even on school days or not school days, the kids have a quiet time. So the children that are at home spend time in their bedrooms or in the playroom playing for a little while, and then they also watch a show. And during that time, I'm able to get some work time at my computer. And then in the evenings, we have a consistent bedtime routine. Our toddler goes to bed around 6:30, and everyone else goes to bed around 7 or 7:15, even the big kids. But they get about an hour in their room to read. So this way, everybody has a quiet time in the evening, including me, and I can get some work done on my computer. The fourth word is a big one, and that is no. I have to say no to a lot of things. So for example, blog related, I have lately been saying no to sponsored post requests and book reviews because working for a deadline is stressful for me. It takes time away from my family. I like being my own boss and deciding when and when not to work. And so I found that for now, those are things I have to say no to. I also say no to things our children might like. I say no to lots of overscheduling. They're not in lots of activities at one time. I say no to big elaborate birthday parties that would stress me out. I say no to lots of play dates. I also say no to things that are important, but that for me are not what I enjoy doing and that take away from other things I need to be doing. So for example, I hire someone to do my Facebook and Pinterest scheduling. I also hire someone to help me edit my products before I put them in my shop and to manage my inbox, which gets very full very quickly. And this is for bloggers out there. I say no to all the things. As a blogger, you are constantly hearing about things that you should be doing, new social media that you should be trying. The list that you could be doing in a day is 100 miles long. I say no because I don't want to burn myself out. I've certainly been down that road and I don't want to go there again. So for example, Instagram. It's the place to be, right? Everybody loves it. Everybody keeps telling you how important it is. I don't do it. I have an account and I've posted maybe twice. And I don't feel any stress about that. I have to say no to things that don't fit so that I can do the things I love to do. And that brings me to number 5, passion. I absolutely love creating printables, writing blog posts, creating videos, and sharing resources with you. It's one of my favorite things to do. And so for me, all the time I spend on my blog work doesn't feel like work. It feels like fun. It's my alone time. It's my me time. And it's my work time all in one. So it's a really great setup for me. So that's how I make it work. Readers have also asked about our family's daily schedule, and I'll tell you more about that in the next video.